Happening now at 6 o'clock, closing arguments ended in the last 60 minutes in the trial of a Raleigh store owner accused of killing a customer who stole a bottle of Gatorade. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Deborah Morgan. Taiseer Zarka is charged with stabbing Mark Garrity to death last year. Today, Zarka's attorney showed surveillance video of the confrontation in the store. Zarka testified Garrity said he had a gun and he was acting in self-defense. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan joins us now live from the Wake County Justice Center with a key question in this case. Chelsea?
Yeah, Deborah, so this all boils down to one thing. Was excessive force used? Now, the defense says it was necessary and that Zarka was acting in self-defense, and they believe he didn't even know that Mark Garrity was injured after the scuffle. However, the prosecution believes that there was no reason for Zarka to pull out a deadly weapon, and they believe he stabbed Mark Garrity 4 times in the chest and the abdomen over a $4 bottle of Gatorade. Now, let's show you some of the video we took in court today. So basically, before the closing arguments, Zarka spent hours on the stand. He contends that Mark Garrity wouldn't show him what was in his bag in last April, and even told him he had a pistol inside. But today, Zarka opened the bag in front of the jury, and nothing was inside but clothing. The defense believes Garrity was drunk and high, and that's why he wouldn't comply. Now, the state told the jury Zarka could have called police instead of using the knife. The state then ended their arguments, showing blood-drenched photos of Mark Garrity in the street, and then asked the jurors who they thought was the aggressor.
That's not a mean man over there. That's not a malicious man over there. That's not a murderer over there.
And that's not a little pocket, a little Boy Scout knife. That's a 4-inch blade, right? A 4-inch blade that the defendant walks up to the victim with, stands over him, and lunges with him.
Not this size.
Right. So the one that you saw
Now, today on the stand,
was a bigger size, right?
Today on the stand, Zarka told the jury Garrity was bigger and stronger than him, and he was weaker after receiving a chemotherapy treatment that morning. Now, the jury will begin their deliberations first thing tomorrow morning, and they'll have to decide 3 things: involuntary manslaughter, guilty of second-degree murder, or not guilty at all, Deb.
Chelsea, it's so unusual for the defendant to take the stand. What was the key moment in Zarka's testimony on the stand?
Yeah, so I think the state kind of hit the nail on the head when they asked Zarka how many shoplifters he had in his supermarket on South Wilmington Street, and he mentioned it could be up of 500 a year, but also said in those 500 shoplifters, he never had to pull out a knife. Take a listen to what else he had to say.
Was it ever your intention to seriously injure him?
No, sir.
Was it ever your intention to kill him?
No.
Now, we should mention, if Zarka is found guilty of second-degree murder, for example, he could face upwards of 20 years in prison. And as I mentioned, the jury will get this case first thing tomorrow morning. We, of course, will be on verdict watch and have reaction from the family as well as the defendant. Live in Raleigh, Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News.